Hey guys, Randy Richard in the shop. This week I working on a couple of little projects, and I got the drill press here. I worked on that for a counterweight for the table. Watching Mr. Pete there a week or so ago, and he was doing a counterweight, and he mentioned a sash weight. I happen to have a sash weight, so I had some sash chain even. So I go, gosh, I really need to do that. So I went to work and made up a counterweight setup, kind of similar to his. This is an old Delta. It used to be my grandfather's. He bought it somewhere probably in the mid 30s, and it's been in the family ever since. He bought it brand new, so I still use it here in the shop. It's a great little drill press. I mean, it's a floor stand. It's only, I think, a half horse on there. But, yeah, it does everything I really need it to do. I don't use a drill press that often, but it comes in pretty handy. Anyway, guys, we'll go put together this little counterweight deal. And thanks to Mr. Pete and thanks to Lyle. Make sure you guys watch his channel. I think everybody does, but please watch it. He has some great stuff. So thanks a lot, you guys. We'll see you in a little bit. This is the toughest parting job I've ever done. This is 3 inches in diameter, 304 stainless, high-speed steel, 1/8 inch parting blade, and about 3/16 of an inch from parting it off. And I'm up to about up to 270 RPM on it. There we go. Most definitely the hardest parting job I've ever done. Took me a little while to do it, but I started at about 125 RPM and with the blade very short. And every 1/4 inch in depth, I would increase the speed and increase the depth of the blade, the length of the blade. Yeah. And I was up to, like I said, about almost 280 on the RPM for final depth. Not too bad. And I kept checking the height. Every time I advance it, I would recertify the height. So I was on center, because this is at an angle slightly, and it changes each time. And making sure I'm parallel with my cut every time I would check it. About 1/8 of an inch tit on there, and we're gonna face that off anyway. This is the gonna be my tubulane pulley. This is the top for the drill press, the mount part of the mount for the tubulane pulley on my counterweight for my drill press table. This is the piece for the drill press. We're going to mill a slot in it. First we're going to drill a hole in it for a holding down screw. We use a 1/4-20 socket head screw. This is the piece I made. We're going to put this in the post and weld it in. But we want it to, the hold down bolt will come through this, so I have a transfer screw in there, and this matches the radius of the inside of the tube. We'll hold a V-block up here to get this hopefully aligned. Nice new brass hammer from Stephen Lang, and we'll just use that. I think that's going to be just fine. Got a little dimple. A real center punch. There we go. That's where it's going to go. So we lined up on our punch mark and drilled it out. the clearance hole for a counter quarter 20, and we're gonna flip it over. We're gonna counter bore the other side for a bolt so it sits flush when it's installed with that, and then we're gonna cut a slot in it. I just put a thick parallel underneath here and the V block, and I use the drill to line up on. I have the vise set half the diameter, so the radius already, and I did not move it this way. So that way when I set it up, putting the drill back in, I just put the drill back in, set it up. Now when I mill it, I'll mill it right on center line also. This is just a high-speed steel counter bore. We just take it easy. This is the top of my very old Delta drill press. Well, with some inspiration from Mr. Pete, and my table is not, it's just not counterweighted or anything, it just slides up and down the post. This is a floor stand drill press. So I decided to do something about it. His video there was showing the counterweight, and he mentioned sash weights. Well, I happen to have a sash weight. Here's a sash weight. Very old. Been in the dirt a while, or is in an old house also. But the sash weight. And I hooked it to some sash chain that I had. We're going to drop that down inside. Right to the bottom. Inside here I made a half moon piece of 1/4 inch thick steel with a hole drilled in it, tap. I drilled a hole right here, welded it through, and then ground that down smooth. And a couple of smaller welds in there. I had some stainless sitting around. This is stainless. I just turned it on the lathe. Hole, counter bore for socket head cap screw. Milled a slot in it. I had some scrap. Stainless is this, about not 1/8 of an inch, but pretty good sized sheet metal. Made a couple pieces, welded them on. Didn't get them straight. It moved on me, but anyway. So that goes in the slot. That goes there. Made a nice little Delrin pulley for it. Gonna go in there. Made a shoulder bolt. Oh, go wrong side. Weight will come up there, go over the top. Nylock nut right there. Free spinning pulley, and the sash weight goes right in that square groove. That's going to work perfect. All we got to do is hook it up to the table, and I hope my weight's enough. If not, I'll have to probably add some more. But anyway, there we go. That's the top end, and we'll pull the head back up, and this will all clear the belt now. Design it around clearance. Here's what I'm doing down here. This is the bolt, and then it has the handle over here to tighten it. I just made a piece of stainless sheet metal. Fits right here. When it gets tight, there's plenty of gap for that. That goes in there, and then split the chain open, and just put a screw through it with a nylock nut again. All right, all back together. I just kind of wiped down and lubed up the post, but anyway, look at that. Oops, probably down out of your sight, but that works absolutely awesome. This probably weighs 20 something pounds. It's not a real big table. It's all cast iron, but still, it was a little bit of a pain. But now look at that. You could really do it with just one hand without a problem. If you push hard, it will go right on down. So that's a perfect weight. I'm not going to change a thing. You can spin it around. You can see how the chain just kind of moves with it. And lock the table. Perfect. Thanks, Lyle, for the idea there, and it works just wonderfully. I should have done this many years ago. Many years ago. This is my drill press vise I have for it. It's an old jet one. It's really good vise, but it is heavy too. Oops. Drop the handle. So now I could probably leave that on there a little more, but you know, it's going to go right on down if I let it. But it comes up fairly easy. You know, probably just half a day, 3/4 of a day's work. I mean, I had to machine a piece and making little sheet metal pieces and all that. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for watching.